Where has this money been appropriated to? Who has it been appropriated by? What level of benefit did they incur from it? And who suffered because of it?
What's going on, guys? Hey, I want to come back to you, and I want to bring you a video with Stephen A. Smith. And I think, again, this guy goes back and forth, but I believe, at least to a degree, this man is starting to wake up. And again, I think any one of us that went through kind of a waking up period, we understood that, first of all, it doesn't happen overnight. And number two, normally it doesn't. And number two, we can't help but fall back into our old patterns. Blaming the right. Blaming this, blaming that for what is actually happening on the left. What they're actually doing. And again, right now we have truly got to understand. Men like Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, he has a vested interest in this country doing well. We have to understand we are the last holdout. We are the last holdout in the world. The U.S. If we fall to this wokeness, the world is done.
Let's go to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, where Americans saw a different image of power coming from the White House. Elon Musk, the world's richest man and new head of the Department of Government Efficiency, held a press conference from the Oval Office with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, sitting right next to him. Both men defended their efforts to enact sweeping changes to the federal government and limit spending. The move comes as Trump signed an executive order, yet another one, providing new guidance for federal agencies to cut what both men characterize as excessive government spending.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk,
I have to what?
including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are, in effect, policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the DOGE handle on X and to the DOGE website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the DOGE organization. And I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there. So it's not like I think I can get away with something. I'll be scrutinized nonstop.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment or look in that area if we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watch that also.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply?
Well, I always abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum. And it gives crooked people more time to cover up the books. Yeah, the answer is I always abide by the courts, always abide by them, and will appeal.
You know, I listened to Elon Musk speaking there. I listened to Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, the 47th President of the United States, formerly the 45th President of the United States, speaking there. And I'm watching Democrats protesting on Capitol Hill, demanding justice, highlighting that nobody elected Elon. I'm hearing politicians, rightfully so, I might add, emphasizing the need to not stand pat and just wait to make change come midterm elections.
Yeah, they were at the screaming and yelling. Nobody elected Elon. Look at our signs. Nobody elected Elon. Yeah, nobody elected Kamala either. But she was the one that ran for president. Again, she was handpicked. Right? She's part of the inside. Guys, we have got to understand. We have truly got to understand that Trump and Musk, they are doing nothing wrong at all. I mean, again, Donald Trump was elected, overwhelmingly elected, 80 billion votes. He won the popular vote as well. I mean, again, like Stephen A. says, I mean, he brought on more black people, especially black men, brown people, women. Yeah, we elected Trump, and Trump hired basically Elon to find out what the hell is going on with the money. It's being mismanaged badly. We need to find out what's happening to our money, to the taxpayers' money. And he's doing it. They're both doing it. And it's so funny to me, man, that the ones that are yelling, screaming, and saying that, you know, nobody elected Elon. Maybe the ones yelling are guilty of something. Again, they're finding all this money and really on one side being spent, being squandered, being used in ways that are really questionable. The ones yelling about it, the ones yelling the loudest, are normally the ones that are guilty. Do people not get that? Do they not understand that? So again, Trump did nothing wrong. He elected him. He hired somebody to do something he did not have the time to do. Or maybe the knowledge either to do. And Musk, he hired a bunch of young men with degrees and or experience in software, you know, whatever. And they're going through things. And they're finding all kinds of issues. But again, as usual, the Democrats, they have a problem with that. They have a problem with being possibly exposed.
I'll openly confess that a lot of people that I work for, and whatever, regardless of what they say, I think they're righties. They're not fooling anybody. I don't care. I look at the information and I'm going to call balls and strikes like I see them. Elon Musk is a problem. He is a problem because he's the world's richest man. According to numerous reports, he's received money from our government because he's in business with the government. Whether it's Skylink, Tesla, or whatever, I don't have that information in front of me. And he's not an elected official. So not only have the people not elected him, he wasn't even confirmed by the Senate. He's just Trump's guy. That is an incredible, incredible reason to be alarmed, especially when they're looking to have access to the treasury, thereby giving them access to private information involving every American citizen in this country. Certainly, there's a reason to be very, very alarmed. Nobody's denying that. But you see, I'm fair-minded. There's a flip side. I don't know about y'all, but aren't you a little bit suspicious about watching a bunch of Democrats raise holy hell over his access before we find out whatever it is that he's found out? I don't know about y'all, but I don't want laws being broken. I don't want the Constitution being ignored or violated. I don't want the civil liberties of American citizens being compromised. All of that is true. But I have to confess, I do want to know how much money politicians are getting from the moment they arrive on Capitol Hill. What are your investments? Who did you invest with? What kind of information did you get access to enable you to make those investments so you can make money? Do the American people have the same access you have? We damn sure don't have the same health care, from my understanding. These are questions. Why do we have a problem knowing that the answers to them?
Guys, we have truly got to understand. Number one, Elon Musk does have a vested interest in the country. He does. Now, again, he runs two very successful companies that I'm aware of. Starlink and Tesla. And again, the guy has lost money. What shares of Tesla are down, what, about $100 per share or whatever since Trump took office. Again, we have truly got to understand he has an interest, a vested interest. People, they're not fans right now. Democrats, which again, overwhelmingly buy his cars. But again, what's important to him is speaking up and being honest. Our country is going straight to hell. The world is going straight to hell. That's the evil that's out there. Again, boys can be girls and girls can be boys. And, again, letting everyone in the country, letting everyone in Europe and, no, guys, man, look at what's happening. The world is going down. Do you hear that big flushing noise? The world is going down the shitter. And this country is a holdout. We are the last hope. Had to be too Star Wars-ish. We are the last hope. And again, people like Elon Musk, they know it. They see it. Trump sees it. I think a lot of people on the right, not everyone, but a lot, they see it as well. And again, Trump was voted in overwhelmingly. And he can hire who he wants to hire to figure out this mess. And again, like I said, man, Trump, he has an interest, and so does Musk. So do a lot of people. We're it. This country is it. I mean, again, even countries in Europe have said, again, vote for Trump. That is our last hope. Again, guys, we have got to get on board. People have got to get on board to what is happening. So, no, Elon Musk is not a problem. But Stephen A. is right about one thing. We need to find out where everything is going with this money situation. What's going on with these funds being abused, being used to make people rich? And again, the ones that are mad, that are real mad about this whole thing, and are trying to stop what Elon Musk is doing, you really got to wonder why. And again, in what way are you standing up for this country if you're wanting Elon Musk to stop? It just sounds like to me darkness in them is wanting them to get Trump and Musk to stop. Because they're shining a light where they don't want a light shown.
You're an elected official that makes you a public figure. I think Trump should have given us access to his books. I think it should have been mandated. When he was running for election in 2015 and in 2016, how in the hell did he not have to show us his tax returns? That should have been mandatory. I got a red flag up about Musk, too. I'll be damned if I trust Trump. But nearly 80 million people have spoken. Regardless of what the Democrats want to tell us, and I hear like the number was like 220,000 out of millions. That's what it ultimately came down to. The difference in the polls between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Whatever it is, he won every swing state. He won about 50 counties. He increased in the black, the Hispanic, and the young voter demographic. And the white women that were supposed to come out and be against him in droves because of his position on Roe v. Wade didn't equate to him not being reelected. Somewhere along the line, something missing. I understand the uproar. I understand the need for the Democrats to make noise. DEI is another thing. We'll be revisiting that in the days and the weeks to come. Make no mistake about it. But understand, on its premise, to have somebody elected in office targeting excessive government spending, I'm trying to figure out how is the taxpayer supposed to be appalled and put off and threatened by that exposure being revealed to us. If I'm not trusting Musk, I'm not trusting Trump, but I'll be damned if I don't want to hear what they have to say about where the hell millions upon millions of dollars of taxpayer money has gone. Oh, I want all those details. Every penny, if you can find out, I want it all. Where has this money been appropriated to? Who has it been appropriated by? What level of benefit did they incur from it? And who suffered because of it? There are strong questions to ask coming down the pike, especially with these executive orders Trump is handing down. You want to get rid of the Department of Education? Well, what kind of damage is that going to do? Where will we be as a country without the Department of Education? What tentacles does it have and does it reach that could detrimentally affect the American people? And if you don't have a Department of Education, how specifically is that going to benefit our country? I want to hear about all of that. I want to hear about that with the CIA, a whole bunch of people that you asked to resign or take off or take severance, whatever you did. I want to hear that with DEI. I want to hear that about the FBI. I want to hear about everything. Because are you doing what you're doing to find money? To make it look like we're doing better because we've located where the money is gone and we've identified where excessive spending needs to be targeted so we don't have to worry about that anymore? Or are you doing it to dismantle the government in such a way that we don't really have one? And we're at the behest and the mercy of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Because if the latter is true, then our democracy is in danger. An autocracy is being entertained, if the latter is true. We don't know. Perhaps we'll find out sooner than later. But I know this much. I want to know where the money is.
You know, I would have liked to have seen Trump's tax returns as well. But that's something that is not required. And again, we got to understand that. He does not just show his returns. And again, I know he said he would have. I know he said he would do it. But he didn't. And he did not have to. Now, as far as Trump and Musk, everyone forgets what Trump ran on. Trump ran on the fact that he was going to drain the swamp. He was going to expose corruption. And again, that's what he did. That's what he's doing. Again, he took office, 3 weeks ago. Look what's happened in those 3 weeks. I mean, again, a slew of executive orders being signed. The border being shut down. ICE going after the criminals first. And then again, getting rid of people that should not be in the country. I mean, again, this guy is doing what he said he would do. That's what 80 million people voted for. Do people not understand that? Again, he hired Musk to get to the bottom of what's happening with our money. Is it being spent wisely? Is it being given? Is it being used to enrich certain people? How is it being used? How? And Musk is doing so. I mean, again, look how much money he found to be mismanaged just in the past couple of weeks. We are just seeing a little bit what's behind the curtain. Nobody else has done this. Nobody else has come close to doing this. Nobody. So, we've got to understand. Step back. Shut up for just a bit. Because again, the people screaming and yelling and crying about Musk and about Trump and trying to make a statement that Elon Musk is really the president. And I mean, come on, guys, man, what the hell? The reason why they're doing this is because they're trying to stop them. Because they're exposing them and their friends. They're exposing what they don't want exposed. Do people not see that? They're too busy pointing fingers at Trump and saying, look, he raped a woman, he did this and he did that. But a 30-year-old case where there were no charges ever filed. There's no evidence that any of it ever took place. But yet they call Trump a rapist. They call Trump this and that. No, he's not. No, he is not. They're too busy focusing on that stuff instead of looking at the real problem, the real situation, what he's really doing, what he's exposing. Again, they believe the media. They believe what they're told. They're good little boys and girls. Again, question what you're told. I think it's man the Department of Education. We don't need that. Turn it over to the states. Again, we of all first world nations, I believe. We spend the most money on education and we get the worst return. We're at the bottom of the barrel. Something is wrong here. We gotta fix it. And anytime you have change like this, you're gonna have people that get upset and yell and scream, and there's going to be a certain amount of chaos and a certain amount of exposure. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a.